like most people in this world, I'm a very determined, strong character.
Yes, you are.
And I don't want to fail. So the first thing I thought was, if I leave, if I quit, then, I'm failing. I've been kind of chased out, driven out.
What a failure. Yeah.
And I couldn't do that.
Yeah, of course
so
not.
that's why I was working harder. But it wasn't accomplishing anything.
Right. Cloud, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mark.
It's actually recording now.
Great. Hi, everyone.
We just did this whole intro and we're talking and I'm going, oh, shit, we didn't press record. So I'll do that again, if that's cool. So just to give some context to everyone, Fabulous Cloud, I met you in 2016 when Sophie and I had the pleasure of coaching you through a 12-week program. And your tribe was known as the Purple Emperors, the one and onlys, the most fabulous tribe ever.
The best, yeah.
The best, 100%, non-biased at all. And then recently you reached out to say, hey, I've got this program that I'm launching. I think people could benefit from this. And I said, sounds amazing. Let's get you on the show, talk about it. But also, I just want to say, for people who've never seen you before, or met you before, that you are the official resident event queen guru at the Unconventionalists HQ. You've turned every of our events into an amazing experience, and I'm so grateful for everything that you've done for us and everything that you'll continue doing. I'm bribing you into continuing.
Absolutely.
But before we did that, a few months ago, you went to India.
Yeah.
That's right. How was that?
India is great. It's always great. I always manage to get sick, as I was saying earlier. And I'm eating the same food poisoning, and I'm eating the same as everyone else. So I've just obviously got a very sensitive stomach.
Yeah.
But I also get better really quickly.
Yeah.
So every time I get sick, I'm like, okay, this is just going to be 24 hours of like sleep and rest and drugs.
Yeah.
And then I can party again and eat more.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, India is always really good.
Yeah.
I try and go every year just to relax, recharge the batteries.
Yeah. Did you go and do a bit of yoga?
This year I did.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a Pilates instructor.
Yeah,
so
you are.
Yeah. So
you just came back from a class, right? You were teaching this morning?
Yeah, I was teaching this morning, nice and early.
Yeah.
For those people that get
How
up
early
and
we
want to
talking
see
about?
the sunrise. 6:45 to 7:45.
So what time do you get up?
Luckily, I live just around the corner, so I normally get up an hour before.
Okay.
5:45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in. Get in, Cloud. Because when did you finish the whole Pilates kind of instructor program, and when did you actually start teaching?
So I started teaching August last year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't something that I ever planned in my life.
Yeah.
In fact, I hated exercise.
Yeah.
I was the one behind the bike sheds at school, smoking that sneaky cigarette.
Of course you were.
And then just hiding behind the bushes. And then as a few people went past the finish line, I'd just kind of jump in and pretend that I'd done the entire race.
Yeah.
So I absolutely hated exercise.
Okay.
So to be doing Pilates now is just madness.
Yeah.
But
because you've got a completely different background, and apologies, by the way, for listeners if you're hearing a bit of background noise. We didn't have our usual pop-up studio today, so we improvised and we squatted this open kind of space, so we might be hearing some background noise. But you had a very different career before, because actually when I met you, you were kind of coming out of this advertising. Yeah. So for the 15 years, I was advertising. I was an account director in some of the big advertising agencies. I'd been lucky enough to work all around the world. I spent 2 years in Taiwan, 8 years in China, a couple of months in New York, and then did a lot of TV commercials everywhere, as amazing as Brazil and Argentina. So is it as fabulous and wonderful as everybody makes up to be, when it comes down to advertising? Is it glamorous?
Yes. It's good fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't have any regrets at all. I just am a strong believer in that, you probably get 2 or 3 lives in your one life.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't have to commit to one thing if, you know, you're getting pulled in another direction. Like, so I mean, 15 years is a long time.
Sure.
And I got to experience a lot of good things, but I also just realized towards my late 30s that I wasn't really living a balanced life. And I slowly started to fall out of love with the advertising industry, just because I was working really, really long hours, and there's no easy way to work in advertising. It's like all or nothing.
Right. It's that kind of like work hard,
work
and
hard, play hard.
Yeah.
And I also realized as I was, you know, just going up the corporate ladder, that there was fewer and fewer women. So towards the end, when I was, you know, a business partner, I found that there was probably in the industry about 5 to 10% of women at my level. And I wondered why that was.
Yeah.
And it was pretty obvious. If a woman wants to, you know, have children, and have more of a work-life balance, then you just can't. I don't believe you can really be in that industry unless you've got an extremely supportive partner. If you have a partner, the other women that I had met were fortunate, and they did have very supportive partners.
And partners, you mean at home, not just business partners?
Yeah, there are some partners at home, but what I found also was quite funny is that equally the men in those positions did have stay-at-home wives, and they would be
like a really cliche kind of Mad Men.
It was.
Mad Men
it still
setting.
is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that the whole traditional advertising, like TV advertising, is dying in a way, not just because of digital, but I think also the people in there, the culture. Very Mad Men. Well, what I experienced anyway in the big.
So you were a mad woman.
I was a mad woman.
You were a mad woman.
Yeah.
Cloud.
Yeah.
And so what happened then? What happened? What? How did you go from that to suddenly coming in the tribe and ending up with Sophie? And you're like, what?
Yeah. I would say I went through some pretty horrible experiences. Going to be honest. I left China probably around 2013. Yeah, towards the end of 2013. And I, you know, brought myself back to London, which UK being my, you know, where I was born and raised and where my family live. So I thought, you know, about time I put some roots down in my home. So started working for some advertising agencies in London, and funnily enough, I didn't feel like I fitted culturally, and maybe that's because I'd been away for far too long.
Okay.
So I actually.
So you felt like a foreigner in your own land.
I felt like a foreigner in my own land. Yeah. And I think combined with the fact that New York and London are really up there in advertising, I found it extremely competitive. So I didn't find the work environment very friendly, very supportive. So I just found that I was working harder and harder, but doing, not performing my best.
Get it. You just felt like, there was something off. Something off. Which the worst thing is that when you start to have negative thoughts in your mind, it's just this downward spiral. So the more you think that you're not doing a good job, the reality is you probably are, but you just doubt yourself so much. It's that imposter syndrome. You walk into a meeting and you don't think anyone's listening. You don't think anyone even, you know, expects you to have an opinion or wants your opinion. So I was just getting myself into a state and then working harder to try and overcome, you know, those negative thoughts.
but then that also took me into burnout mode. You know,
Yeah.
so stressed from working too hard and stressed.
And you weren't taking
from
care of
not-
yourself, I guess, health.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that you used to be the girl behind the shed smoking the cheeky cigarette. I'm going to guess at work you might either be with drugs or alcohol, whatever it was. You probably weren't the one at 5:45 classes doing Pilates before you went off into a pitch, yeah.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
The other thing is feeling a little bit, just feeling different as well. So coming back to England, I felt like I felt a lot older. Like I said, at that point, I was in my 40s, early 40s. So everyone around me was much younger, in their 20s, you know, really excited, running around. So I felt like I was in this really weird place where I couldn't mix with seniors at my level because they were all men, and then they were rushing home at 6 o'clock to have dinner with their kids before their kids went to bed. And I was this single woman, but I couldn't go out drinking with you know, the young executives and the creatives, because then I would get this reputation, and I wanted to command that respect at work, that I was, you know, their senior manager.
Right.
So, you know, I just felt very alone. And it kind of took me to the point where I was thinking, what am I doing here? Questioning,
and
is this
so
the right place?
I think there's nothing worse than being surrounded by people but feeling lonely.
Yes.
Because you feel even more isolated, because then you have that talk around, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
I mean, how could I be feeling this way when I've got all these people around me, friends, supportive, I've got this great job, great title, looks great on paper. Why do I feel like this?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And, you know, and that's exactly it. You know, I had friends and family always telling me how great and how amazing I am. Yet when I was going to work, I didn't feel that way. Yeah. And, you know, also my appraisals, I wasn't even doing very well. So it was very evident that I wasn't doing very well.
So change was needed.
Change was needed. Yeah. But I don't know, I wonder if, like most people in this world, I'm a very determined, strong character.
Yes, you are.
And I don't want to fail. So the first thing I thought was, if I leave, if I quit, then, you know, I'm failing. You know, I've been kind of chased out, you know, driven out.
What a failure. Yeah.
And I couldn't do that.
Yeah, of course
so that's why I was working harder. But it wasn't accomplishing anything.
Right.
Because I suppose deep down I just was so unhappy, and I knew I shouldn't have been there. So in 2016, so I'd done about 3 years of that in London, really driving myself crazy. And I don't know, just one summer of 2016, I needed the final push was working for an agency where I didn't get on with my boss. So that was kind of easy. Like, you know, we just weren't working well. Yeah. And it was, one of us had to move on. And it certainly wasn't going to be her, because she had been in that agency for a very, very, very long time. So, you know, I just bit the bullet and left. But I hadn't made any plans.
So clearly it was going to be you that was going to leave, not her. And so you left.
Yes.
Cool. And then you're like, what next?
Yes.
Yeah. And so you come across this program.
Yes.
And you join this crazy tribe.
Yes.
You end up in a room with all these crazy people who they're all strangers by then.
Yeah.
And then you've got Sophie, the wonderful, amazing, magical Sophie, and me, bearded dude. What was going through your head? Like, when you got there, did you think, what the hell am I doing here? Did you go, whoa, maybe there's some more people who are more like me that feels good to be belonging? Like, what was going through your head while you're going through the program?
For me, I kind of loved every moment, and I couldn't wait to start. I know that there were some people that were really scared and were always wondering whether it was the right thing for them. But for me, as I'd lived so long as an expat and had a community of friends and a supportive network, I was desperately seeking that again. So when I came back to London, London's a big city.
True.
And, you know, I'd been away for a good 10 years. So I'd lost my original contacts, and my uni years were way gone. People had upped and left the city.
Had kids, moved out in the countryside, got the Labradors.
Yeah. So I came back, and I had to make new friends. And so going to Escape, I just felt like, I already had this instant ready-made family of like 30 other students, like-minded students, I was hoping, because we were all on this course.
Same journey,
Yeah. So I was excited from pretty much from day one. But I was also what's the word? I was very impressed with the course, the course structure, and what I learned about myself. I always wanted to have some coaching, whether it be life coaching or business coaching. So, I was just very, very impressed by the quality of the teaching and what I learned about myself. And it was from Escape that led me to where I am now and the business I'm 100%. Doing now.
So what's the business you're doing now then? Tell us a bit more about that. And if it's a mess and you don't know, that's okay. It's welcome here. The Unconventionalists, we do things differently. We don't have to have it all figured out. But what you're about now, because I'm seeing all these different things popping up. Pilates instructor, like I'm loving the content. It's like, do you want to sit properly or stand straight? And like how to get your glutes activated. And I'm just like, yes, Cloud, I want that. I wake up with a bad back. What do I do? But I also know that you also do visualization, kind of vision boards, workshops. And actually, you're also here because you're coming to pick up 600 magazines that I've gathered over the years that you desperately wanted to collect. So we've got a suitcase. That's a true story. People have a suitcase waiting behind with all the magazines. And you've got this workshop coming up.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit more about that.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, is it? Is it though?
It does feel like a lot. So I've got this portfolio career at the moment. So I still love what I did, advertising and communications. Yeah. So what's most exciting about what I do is that I'm applying all that knowledge, that communication to my jobs.
Sure.
So that's good. Don't have to hire someone to do that. Got it.
Yeah.
Tick.
I just had this flash memory of you running before the Impact Accelerator graduation ceremony, trying to get printed the certificates and finding a box for people to get on. Just had this memory flash. Sorry, that was brilliant. And you had to create, because you created the awards certificates for each graduate. Yeah. And then we got them little rolled and it was beautiful. It was amazing.
And that's one of the things I love about my job, because when I was an account director, client facing, I was put in that box. All I was about was, talking to the client, trying to sell in an idea. The creatives would come up with the creative. The strategy planners would come up with the target audience and, the product attributes. And I would have to take that information and sell it into the client, and I'd get bollocked and screamed at if I didn't sell it in by the creatives, even if it was a shit idea. So, I was, punched at both ends. Like, or the clients would come back to me going, what the hell is this? So I was the punch bag.
Oh my God.
So my life was spent going back and forth between...
Just in fear, like your cortisol level just must have been out of this world. You just must have been like stressed all the time.
Stressed all the time, and just putting together timelines in the middle of the night and budgets. So more like a financial accountant. Yeah. So doing what I do now and working for my own business and for others, I get to be creative. I get to be strategic. I get to plan. I still get to do the budgets. Yeah. But I get to have fun. I want to use my creative skills.
Yeah.
So it's kind of baby steps, which is what Escape the City and the course I did, helped me to understand. You can't just jump into something. Take baby steps. So as soon as I quit advertising, I did what most people do. I freelanced. I worked for some clients and I did my marketing. And then I was qualifying to be a Pilates teacher. and I got my qualifications. So just another kind of gradual step.
Yeah.
I've started teaching Pilates.
How are you finding teaching?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you asked me that, because at the end of a class, students come up to me and tell me they loved my class. I never heard that when I was in advertising. Not I love my class, but I love you.
I love your work.
I love your work. Thank you so much. You know, you can always do better in the corporate world. Do better. Do better. You know? Whereas,
so you felt appreciated.
I totally feel appreciated.
And you can see the direct impact of your work in people straight away.
Yeah. So it's not all about, you know, keeping fit. That's part of it.
Sure.
It's about coming into a space, feeling calm, you know, breathe. With Pilates, just like yoga, a lot of it has to do with breathing, calming the nervous system, and then, you know, just stretching and working through those problem areas too. So if you have a bad back or knee problems, I will focus on those areas with the students. And we just have a good workout for an hour, and then everyone gets up and goes to work.
Cool.
And I can go to bed if I want to. No, I normally go home, have a nice breakfast with my boyfriend. And then I get into my marketing work and my wellness work. Yeah,
cool. So, Claudia, we're coming towards the end of the interview, and I just want to make sure that we can capture what it is that you're creating. So you've got a workshop coming up.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about this workshop where you hope to help people in some way.
Okay, so this workshop has 5 different speakers, and they all have areas of interest that help people bring the right energy into their life and create the right space around them, whether it's in their environment or within, to bring out their better selves. So if that sounds a bit abstract, then basically what we're trying to do is make you a more confident person and achieve your goals by living a much better life.
Yeah, because one of the things you want to be focusing on are things like, you know, move a bit more, eat a bit better, and like think about yourself in a more positive kind of way. Yeah, like you're just trying to change people's mindsets around. Actually, just these small little pillars, these small little foundations will make a huge difference on how you feel about yourself and how you see the world. Yeah,
absolutely. So we're all busy. We've all got things to do, and we're always telling ourselves, oh yeah, I should exercise more. I should eat better. So why not come down to a workshop where literally there's 5 different people who have made these changes and will guide you through some very simple steps on how to make those changes. So we have, first of all, we have a movement expert, myself, which will kind of give you some movement tips, some exercise tips, some calming tips on how to find the right energy levels in the morning to start your day. Then we have a declutterer. And this lady will...
Marie Kondo in person, but the British version.
Exactly. And much more fun. Yeah. And she will tell you how to declutter your home so that you can create space for that positive energy. It's very important that the energy around you is positive. So, you know, how to declutter, how to create that space. Cool. And then on top of that, we have a feng shui expert. So that person will tell you with what you have left, what to move around in your home, what to focus on more, how to decorate to bring whatever goals you want. So if you're looking at being wealthier or happier or
healthier,
or, you know, be in a relationship, successful at work, then she will provide you with some tips in the home to bring that positive energy and let it flow through the room. And then we have the wonderful Kuli, who
cool.
And
Kuli, for people listening and people watching, Kuli was also one of our participants and one of the tribe members who was a big fan of aubergines.
Yes. Yeah. And still is. He's probably going to bring an aubergine to the event.
Cooks amazing food,
We have quite a lot of escapees, actually. Some of them weren't even on my course, but Tash actually is Tash Fenshaw. She's the one that's doing the decluttering. She is a declutterer now by trade. And then we have Anne Law, who is an artist, and she will be doing the vision board workshops.
Cool.
So with Kuli, he's going to present a wonderful array of good, healthy food that you can literally make yourself in a week. So stop going to the supermarket, stop buying that takeaway at lunchtime. Just a few simple, nutritious dishes that you can have, you know, at lunchtime, at dinner, and then amazing breakfast.
Cool.
You know, full of protein and full of energy.
Here's a question for you. The former Cloud that used to be working in the corporate sector in the advertising world, would you recognize the Cloud today that's telling me about feng shui and vision boards and that kind of stuff?
No.
Yeah.
No, I remember when I was in advertising and I used to joke to my friends that advertising people always burn out and become yoga teachers. And they do. And I've become one of those. Okay, Pilates, but, you know, same, but different.
Oh, but it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful you're on. So where can people find out about this workshop if they'll come along, or future workshops if they missed the date by the time they listen or watch this?
Yeah. So you can find out more on my website, which is easy, ucci.
Yeah, how do you spell that?
Claudia Colucci. So ucci, ucci.
Yeah.
Wellness.
Yeah.
.com.
Perfect. ucciwellness.com.
Yeah.
Cloud, before we kind of wrap it up, you know, I'm going to have a few last questions that I ask all my guests, and I want to make sure I ask you these. I want to acknowledge you for so much. It's just been such a gift to see you grow and your journey. And I know it hasn't been easy. I think on the outside, a lot of people confuse the kind of work that we do as, oh, you're just having smoothie bowls and Pilates classes, but it's stressful. You know, we don't know how to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're just super anxious. You know, we haven't slept and all this stuff. So, and to see just how you've kept going bit by bit and the great that you're doing in the world through your workshops that I've seen, through your willingness to always help me and always support the Unconventionalists and what I do. And I'm forever grateful for you and for everything that you do. And I know I embarrassed you at the 100th episode when I asked you to stand up and everybody cheered and clapped for you, and you hated me for a little while after that. But I just need to know that I so appreciate you. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I still have to grow myself. You know, it's not easy, like you said. And I do really have a confidence issue when it is to public speaking. So yeah, I'm pretty
Is this your first podcast
right now. Yes.
There you go. Starts like that. Tony Riddle, my mate. It was the first podcast here, and you just got on Rich Roll podcast in the US. So you never know where this journey might take you.
Amazing.
What's one thing most people don't know about you?
Oh goodness. That although, oh God, should I say this? It might be bad for business. That although
being yourself is good for business. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. So although I come across as this like healthy living, move more, eat well, live better kind of person, I do love my junk food.
It's not bad for business. Oh my God, we need more of this. Do you think everyone on Instagram is going to six pack or is doing some crazy handstand move? Is not eating pizza or burgers or having some chicken nugget, whatever the hell, their vices, or ice cream?
Yeah.
Like, we just need more people to be honest and real.
I do like bad food.
Yeah. What's your go-to bad food?
Oh God! Yesterday I had a McDonald's.
Oh no, you didn't!
I was at Westfield. I never go to those kind of places, and I was asked to meet, PR agent, and I went over and I was like, "This is why I don't come to these shopping malls because it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad for Cloud.
Oh my God, the magic M, the golden arch is there. I get that. Thanks for sharing that. What does being unconventional mean to you?
Just being you, being the person that you should be, not being confined to a role, a status. You just be who you are.
Love that. Your social media handle on Instagram?
Ucci by Colucci.
Ucci by Colucci. Love that. Cool. Andrew's going to have fun putting that underneath the name. I'll help you spell it, Andrew. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
All right. Cloud, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
A genuine pleasure, and I can't wait to see your journey grow.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Cheers.
Bye.